Call Allah Yahawashi Yahawashi Wahara Call Quadash. Alright, that's all praise to the Most High. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahawashi is the name of His only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So they deserve all the honor and the glory and the praise. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are worthy of their double honors. And peace, blessings, and salutations to those brethren out here pushing His word in sincerity and truth. The Habayah Dawadah, the house of David, the hopeful elect. Alright, so I just want to get in today, man, on, partly spiritual power in these vessels and being healers. All right. So we know that Yahawashi performed many, many miracles when He was walking the earth. And we know that He's going to perform many more miracles to come. Okay. But I remember this was maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I didn't have a camera, and I was on the highways and the byways, and this Edomite walked up to me, and we were dialoguing for a minute, and one thing he asked me was, what did he say? He said, "Do you have powers like Jesus did?" To heal people, and I told him, yeah, we do. The thing is, we may not have those powers yet with those incorruptible bodies, like in 1 Corinthians 15, but we do have spiritual power. All right, it's already a spiritual power to be able to receive this word first and foremost. That's a spiritual power, the awakening. All right, but I want to get a couple of scriptures to back up what I'm saying. Okay, so this is Matthew 11. I'll just start at 1. And it came to pass when Yahawashi had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, departing thence to teach and to preach in their cities. All right, so we already know that, the 12 disciples and Yahawashi was preaching and teaching and preaching in the cities. All right, so we already know that's going on to the highways and the byways. Yahawashi did it. If the Lord did it, who says we're not to do it? Okay? And it says, now when John had heard in the prison the works of the Messiah, he sent 2 of his disciples. All right? And said unto him, art thou he that should come, or do we look for another? So, John the Baptist was asking, Yahawashi, is it you that I'm looking for? Are you the Messiah? Or should I be looking for somebody else? Well, that's what John's disciples said. That's what John's disciples said to Yahawashi. And then Yahawashi answered and said unto them, go and show John again those things which ye do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk, the lepers cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. Okay, so we know Yahawashi was out there, healing the blind, making the lame walk, making the deaf hear. And in the spirit of Yahawashi, those are exactly the things that we're doing, man. Okay, so the children of Israel, all right, which are the so-called blacks, so-called Native Americans, and so-called Hispanics, and those of confusion of faith scattered abroad the 4 corners of the earth. It says the blind receive their sight. So before this truth, we were blind, man. All right? Before this truth, we were blind. And the nation of Israel was blind. All right? Walking around and we couldn't see. All right? And I remember, every brother has their own testimony to how they awakened to the truth. But, I just heard it's like my spirit automatically clicked. I heard somebody say, you are Hebrews. And that was all it took. That was all it took. And that's how that's truly the spirit. When I heard that, my eyes widened, my body shivered. That was a spiritual awakening, man. That was a true rebirth. Just like a newborn baby, man. Crying when it comes out of the womb. That was that feeling all over again, man. is my whole body woke up from a dead state. I was alive again, man. Just knowing that you are Hebrews. And that's crazy how the Spirit works, because we go out on the highways and byways and we try to tell the 2/3 who they are, and we take sometimes it takes people hours, years, or never at all, to come around to that understanding. But all I had to hear was you are Hebrews. And being convicted, being in the spirit of being a Christian before, or being in the Egyptology, or being in the Islam. You know what I'm saying? All of these brothers all of the elect got pulled out of the world, man. And just hearing ye are Hebrew, and I'm not a man that's easily convinced on things. All right, I had a mind of my own, if you will. So it wasn't easily that just hearing something like that could make me believe it. All right, but that wasn't me believing it. That was the Lord knocking at my door. When I heard that, that was the Lord knocking at my door, and that was my spirit from the reincarnation answering to something that I already knew. All right, and so once again, now that's that reawakening, man. The blind receive their sight, and so that's what we do. We when we on the highways and the byways and we're teaching people, we're giving them eyesight again. All right, the lame walk. All right, so those people that you're not able to walk uprightly. Okay, you're not able to walk uprightly. We were dry bones. All right, and can dry bones walk? They can't, man. We thought we were doing things right. We thought we were, by serving these idol gods, we thought we were doing things, but nah. We were made to see, and we were made to walk again, man. The lepers are cleansed, and these lepers are cleansed through the true lepers, the Edomites, man, the so-called white people. They're gonna be cleansed by that purification, man. When Yahawashi sends those missiles to America. But it says, and the deaf hear, so we were given to that knowledge to hear again, man. Our ears were opened back up. And even now, with this new eyesight and with this replenished hearing, we're able to now eat. We're able to consume what's truly is there. We have that spiritual eye to discern what's righteous or what's wicked. All right, be able to see and be able to hear what's trash, what are things that are abominable. All of those things are, and now put that back out into the world. That's spiritual power. That's spiritual power, man. So we get spiritual power before the time of the Lord is even here, man. Okay, and we're going to get that true spiritual power, on this side and in those incorruptible bodies. Okay. I could go more on this, but it kind of goes off of the point. So, but let me jump to Matthew 13 and 11. He answered and said unto them, I'll start at 10. 9. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. All right. So first, who have ears to hear, and that's why a lot of times we say, if you can receive it, because a lot of people can't receive certain things that we saying, and that's because they don't have the ears to hear, man. And the disciples came and said unto them, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you, all right, Lakah and Lashawan Kodash, is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom and of heaven. But unto them it is not given, all right, the Malakwath. Malakwath wal Shamayam, all right, that's the kingdom of heaven. Okay, but to them it's not given, so they don't know the kingdom of heaven. They don't know the mysteries of the scriptures, all right, because the Lord didn't open their eyes to that. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. All right, so the men of the Lord and the elect, they're going to receive more and more spiritual understanding, more spiritual wisdom, more spiritual knowledge. All right, but those 2/3 out there, he's going to constantly reject them and take away from them, and rebuke them and make them wax worse and worse. Okay, let's see. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So, you know, even though we, now when we out there, we make things pretty plain upon tables, all right? But it's still a parable to these people, because since they might not see Yahawashi's name written in the Bible, because they might not see Yahweh's name written in the Bible, um, these people really only see with their fleshly, carnal eyes and not their spiritual eyes. Because they might not see Negro or the word Hispanic or Native American in the Bible, they don't have spiritual eyes to discern the scriptures, man. So this is all a parable to them, Okay? I'll jump down to 15. If I'll just go through 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, man, and their eyes have closed. All right? That's all it is to it. So when we talk to these people, man, it's our job to try to wake up the hopeful elect, regardless if that's via feeding them on YouTube, feeding the Lord's flock, or on the highways and the byways by them awakening. Sometimes there are elect that are not waking up. They might not say, you might not be standing there and they say, oh, I get it, but they might go home and research. Somebody might have been standing across the street and heard you and finding out more and more. So, we might be unknowingly healing people, and that's the beauty of the scriptures. But the 2/3, it says their ears are dull of hearing, their eyes have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I should heal them. All right, so ultimately the Yahawashi heals them. He uses us as vessels only, man. Okay, but the Lord's words are truly the healing powers. Okay, but He's given us that ability to go out and do His work, man, which is truly an honor, man. And that's something that but a lot of people forsake. It's truly an honor to do the work of the Lord. It's truly an honor to have been chosen to wake up to this truth, to be able to do the work of the Lord, man. Okay, like, you got to think about it. If you see like movies, we all, being in this carnal world, we see a lot of wicked things going on in the cinema, but nonetheless, I like movies. I like watching movies and stuff like that. But in the movies, you always see like a head guy, and he has like a servant or a couple loyal trustees that they are only allowed around him, or only allowed to do his work or spread his message. And so that's a special privilege, man. The Lord didn't have to choose us. The Lord could have left us with the dull hearing and those closed eyes. But he chose us, out of one Ratazar with those men, as His hopeful elect, man. As His people to do His work, as His chosen individuals that He wants around Him. Okay? And that's a privilege. That's an honor, man. The highest of honors. Okay? But it says, like they says, hear with their eyes and should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I should heal them. So some people don't come along as quickly. Some people take more time. Some people, need more understanding to fully come over. But that's the Spirit of the Lord. The Lord will, it says, let me get that in Proverbs real quick. This is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So man's goings are the Lord, man. So that cuts that free will all out. So man's, we go where the Lord takes us. We understand what the Lord wants us to understand. We get a spiritual awakening if the Lord wants us to do it. If not today, then when He decides on it. Okay, so that's what happens to those that should be converted later on. Okay, but it says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. All right, so that's a blessing, man. Blessed are our eyes, man. Barak, man. Blessed are our eyes, all right? For they see and we hear, man. That's truly a blessing from the Heavenly Father. And I had another scripture that I thought I wanted to, oh, let me get famous Romans, and then I might just close it up. I was gonna get some wisdom of Solomon popping out, but man, I just wanted to get on the spiritual power that we already have, that we take for granted. I'm not saying we take it for granted, but that it may not always click, because I know we all the thirst for those, that true spiritual power is like none else, but that's a reward that we gotta tarry and wait for the Lord. All right. And that's okay, all in due time, all in the Lord's time, man. Okay. This is Romans 11:7. Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. All right. So those walking out here blind is because the Lord did it. He don't want them to wake up, man. According to as it is written, and it says Israel hath obtained it. By the way, that's the elect. The elect hath obtained which he seeketh for. All right. The election hath obtained it. The rest, the 2/3, were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that should not see and ears that should not hear unto this day. Okay, so they're still walking around blind. They're still walking around deaf, without that spiritual awakening, without that spiritual health, without that spiritual awakening, man. It's in this day and age, it's truly harmful. I don't to be one of those people left in the dust, man, right now is not a good thing, man. Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed, man. All right, so it's that time to wake out of sleep. Everybody's doing haphazard work, not truly in the spirit. It's not the time for that. Being lukewarm, it's not the time for that, man. Because our salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. These things are going to pop off sooner than we expect, okay? And David said, let their table be made this is back to Romans 11:9. And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back always. All right, so the Lord put up these things to be made a snare and a trap, a stumbling block to them. These things that they can't see in this book. This is a spiritual book, man. All right, so if you're not a spiritual one of the elect, you're not going to understand it. Point blank, period. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the brethren around the world pushing his word of sincerity and truth. And without a doubt, all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashi Wa Rakah Kodash. All right? The water.